I hope this is what we discussed yesterday, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you're the presenter.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I discussed some more things which I'm not able to figure it out. Okay. So in yesterday's session, if I'm not wrong, we discussed a few things about. Okay, let me redo all over again. We discussed about the functional differences between the ECC and the SAP and the S/4HANA system, right, sir?
Yes, yes, sir.
SAP ECC 6.0 and SAP S/4HANA system in terms of the database, in terms of the functional differences. Next, we talked about the SAP code push down techniques.
Also HANA architecture also.
Yes, I'm writing one by one, sir. Okay. Yeah. The code push down techniques that we have. Then we talked about the SAP HANA architecture. Then we talked about the introduction to what is called as the Eclipse environment. How do we create the ADT tools? How do we use the ADT tools for creating applications in the S/4HANA system, right? ADT is nothing but ABAP development toolkit. And how do we use the Eclipse for creating applications for the HANA development tools? That includes the CDS first. That includes the AMDP. Right, Mr. Krishna, this is what we discussed yesterday.
Yes, yes, sir.
Then we discussed about RAP. I want everybody to be actively participating in this because this is an interactive session. Okay. Have you had a chance of working in this? Any part of this, Mr. Gupta?
But you are not sharing anything.
I am sharing.
No, I am not able to see.
Okay,
no,
okay.
It's not shared.
Okay, then it's my mistake.
Yeah, it is not shared. It is not shared. Yeah.
Hope it is getting shared now.
Okay. Yeah, I am able to see your screen. Yeah.
ABAP managed database procedures, and you're going to see one example in RAP, which is the RESTful application programming. That is the managed. The 8th one is the ALV IDA. Then after this is where you're going to work on the backend part. Now, once we're done with this, then we're going to launch ourselves to the SAP BTP system. What is BTP and all its versions? I would take one complete day as to understand, as to see how each object in the BTP system will work. We might create some dummy logon credentials also if required. Then how do we create applications in the front end part? How do we create the applications using JSON file? So we'll be working on the Fiori elements if required. So here we're going to work on the different each and every part of the BTP system. So if you already installed the BTP, or if you already have a trial version of the BTP system with account details and all those, you can use those. But apart from that, if you are creating for the first time, that also will be taken care of. Then after that, we are going to see what are the different Fiori elements we have, the Fiori library. Now this is in conjunction with with the OData services that you have created. I forgotten to add the OData services here. So that will be the most important part. Like everybody is looking forward for that, the OData services. Okay, if you're having another client, something like Postman, you can still execute, but OData will be the primary course of the content. Then, if possibilities are there, then I will definitely take some part of the UI5 contents, wherein you can see at least 10 to 11 examples in that. So before learning UI5, you got to make sure that we understand a little bit of the SAP. You got to understand a little bit of Java stack. Now, because UI5 is not a web stack by any means, this is completely Java stack. So we're going to learn the basics of HTML, the basics of CSS, then the basics of JavaScript. This is what we discussed last time, right, Ramakrishnan?
Exactly this one. Yes.
Then we're going to work on the SAP UI5 content. So once we come up to this stage, I'm going to teach everything in detail. But if at all you have any BTP section of the Fiori screens and all, I would really appreciate. I would really appreciate that. But if you don't have any content like that, not an issue. Okay. For the SAP UI5 content, if you already have a BTP login in your system for your credentials, that's what I'm confirming from my side. Today we'll also looking at what is called as SAP BTP login. Now, before I take up anything, anybody have an account in BTP system? Mr. Gupta, you have any account, a trial account or an extended trial account or enterprise account?
Actually, I think I have enterprise account, but trial account I have created long back, but I forgot the credential.
Now, how long you have been using the trial account for some time?
Long
Is
but
it-
2 years back.
If it is more than 90 days, you cannot work on it because it will see any cookies available. Otherwise, it will close it off all your versions and the account will be deleted from the database.
Yeah,
But if
just
you are
consider that I don't have trial account.
okay, fine. Okay. Mr. Krishna, is the first time you're seeing this, or you have an account on the trial version?
I tried it trial account, but same thing what Gupta told. It expired. It's already expired. But just we
Okay.
log in and it's expired.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, this part is what we're going to see in detail. I already have an account in this, so I'm just trying to use it up. You might ask me why Sanjay is taking the first session for BTP. Okay, now we are here for only for discussing about the BTP parts. So I'm just trying to show you. We have three types of accounts. What is the trial account, which is completely free and for all those students who are professionals who are working on it. The trial account is based for a limited edition. And not all components will be accessible for using if you are using a trial account. So I'll be explaining these parts in detail about the trial account. What are the objects that we have in the trial account? Okay. If you don't have it, I'll appreciate if anybody next time when we start working on this, I'll create an account dynamically so that you can use your account and use it for your internal purposes. Okay. So once we have a trial account like this, we have three types of accounts. Mr. Gupta already knows about this, but it's my part to convey the information to you. We have three types of accounts. One is a trial account. A trial account has a limited number of components to be accessible in your BTP system. The second one is what we call as an extended trial account. An extended trial account is an extension of the license agreement between you and the SAP company for the BTP access. An extended trial account access is possible if you want certain components to be accessed through your credit card or your debit card from your pocket. For example, if I want to access an integration suite to be able to access my workflow applications in my organization, I need to have an access to my backend system with the BTP system. For these things to happen, you need to have a Fiori extended development tools. For all these things, the free trial account is not accessible. The components are less visible. Okay. Free trial account is something like a very lower edition of the BTP system. Okay. So we want certain components to be accessed. For example, if I want to access Joule or an AI modeling, the AI readiness, all these things are not possible in the BTP account. Okay. So what you need to do is we need to have an extended trial account which contains certain.
One small question. I think Joule
Please.
is AI related thing, na Joule.
Yes, it is part of your Eclipse tool. It is also as part of the license agreement where you're going to have some components in your BTP system also, Mr. Gupta. Okay. Because in BTP system in the backend, you need to configure certain components you want so that those components can be accessed in the Eclipse store. Because at the end of the day, what really is going to happen is you're going to access through Cloud Foundry environment, right?
Correct.
You're going to access through Cloud Foundry only. We're not going to work on new environment. We're not going to work on Kaima environment. Now you might ask me what is this Kaima and what is this Neo? To get
One
more
small
info.
question, yes, very basic question. BTP Business Technology Platform. Okay, and
Yes.
what means a Cloud Foundry? Where Cloud Foundry will be related to this BTP? Just I want to understand.
One point I wanted to say, if you're working on Cloud Foundry environment, I'll tell you a small information about this. Let me get into my trial home account. Please don't mistake me, Mr. Krishnan. We are just trying to explore few things. Okay, this being the first session.
Yeah.
And the remaining part of the sections that I mentioned here, we are going to continue from the next session onwards in the same order. Nothing will change. Okay. So once you come down here, this is my trial account. If you see the trial account, I have only access to few of these applications. These few applications are the Business Application Studio, where you can create the application development tools access. Something like if you want to create a Fiori app or list report, I want to create UFI applications. All these things are possible if you're accessing through Business Application Studio tool only. Okay. Now, if you see some more components here, there are end-to-end processes. All these things are for example, I can only open the tutorial, but I cannot access any of these applications here because these are the paid components. Now, these are all the paid components. Okay. Am I clear? I can only open this as a tutorial to me, as it will only show me the procedure. It will show me how to integrate or how to call the integration suite into your system, but it will not tell me as to how you can access that particular application directly. So what SAP has given you is SAP has given you what is called as a discovery center. You understand, if you have been to SAP labs at any point of time in Bangalore or any other location in the world, SAP has given you a particular tool called as Discovery Center. Okay, what is Discovery Center is all about? A Discovery Center is nothing but depending upon what kind of applications you're accessing in your cloud system, all these things are part of your Discovery Center only. For example, a new tool has come. What are the components that are required to use the tool? All these things are part of your Discovery Center. If you have any new components coming up, any new cloud application that you're having, please go through Discovery Center and get the complete information from that particular platform. Okay. Now, Discovery Center is a huge platform where you can get every information about the product, every new component that you're looking at it into it. What are the limitations? What are the complete documentation will be found in that Discovery Center. Okay. Now, Discovery Center is not accessible to free trial account by any means. It is accessible either through an extended trial account or an enterprise account. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
Okay, the next point is once if I open this trial account, then what are the details I have it inside? Okay. The first and the foremost that I have it inside is only these three tools. For example, if I want to create an API for BTP, I still need to have some access to the accelerator hub. Okay, I can't have access to this accelerator hub because it will take some kind of process to take place. Okay, so let's try to get into, before getting into tool access and other things, let's try to get into the trial account of this. So when I create a trial account, what are the different objects that we have? Okay, now let's try to observe. So whenever you create a BTP account for the first time, let it be a trial account or an extended trial account or any other version, make sure that you have an Amazon Web Service environment only. If you are living outside US, there are only 2 countries where this Amazon Web Services is not accessible. All other countries apart from the 2 countries can access this Amazon Web Services with the region object called as US East and AWS. This BTP trial account is in constant connection with AWS, Amazon Web Services for BTP environment creation. This account is what we call as a multi-environment account. So if you are installing BTP trial account for the first time, make sure that you use this Amazon Web Services region of US East. What are those 2 countries where this trial account is not applicable? The 2 countries where the trial account is not, where the Amazon Web Services account is not applicable is, one is Germany and one is Singapore. Because these 2 places, they have separate accounts for the respective regions. So once you install this Amazon Web Services trial account with all your details to which company, all your personal account details, the system will generate one OTP for you and you can create a BTP account directly. Okay. Am I clear to all of you, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate if you have any questions, I would cherish to answer those questions. So once you create this BTP trial account, so we need to get into what is called as a trial home. Once you get into trial home, we can see certain components which are required. One of those components is what we call as, you come to trial account, click on go to trial account is the same. If you click on go to trial account, it will show me certain directories or certain objects on the left side. This is very, very important for us. So that details is what the first details that we actually find is what is called as a global account. This global account will be automatically created once the BTP trial account is created. The same applies to the extended trial account also. Okay, once you create this BTP trial account, you can come down to the global account, and this global account is maintained by the SAP database, is maintained in the SAP database and is maintained by the SAP company for maintaining its database for a period of at least 270 days. Depending upon how many times you're accessing the BTP system, the SAP will monitor it closely, and based upon that, it will extend your period for some more time. But if you're not using constantly or periodically, the monitoring will be done much more faster. And there is a possibility that your trial account will be deleted because it's not active for a certain period of time, which is what happened to Mr. Gupta when he was not working, when he said that it's not active. It's not active because he's not using it in a proper way. So the SAP will monitor those requirements very, very closely. And if it's active, it will still exist. It will still be there. Otherwise, it will delete the trial account. And you'll get the information that the trial account has been is not active, and it may not work as per your requirement. Okay. So once you create a trial account, make sure that you work it in a proper way and make it frequently usable. Next, once you come down to this part, we need to see what are called as boosters. I'm trying to explain each and every part which is there in the BTP system. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Gupta.
Yes.
So once you come down to boosters, boosters is an option in BTP account or in the BTP version, which will tell you what are all the new components that can be used in your BTP system. For example, if I want to create an automation pilot for SAP automation pilot, then I can use a component called as set up an account. Like this, you have so many components like this. For example, if I want to create a build app application, I need to make sure that these boosters are available in my system. Not all boosters will have access to all the tools. So whenever you create a BTP trial account, by default, a business application studio is automatically created for you, because it's a tool where we create the Fiori applications for the requirements. But let us say that you have a scenario where you're working with the third-party systems of SAP. For example, I'm trying to create an inbox system of mine, which a purchase order or any business that I have, to the integration suite with my third-party systems. For example, my system is SAP. My SAP system has the data in ECC, and from ECC, I want to get all the services required for some business approvals. It can be a purchase order approval or a PR approval. Now, for those things, when you're integrating with SAP with the third-party systems in BTP, you require what is called as a integration suite. Okay, an integration suite is nothing but a suite which will allow you to create for integrating the SAP with the third-party systems, that to the BTP system. Okay, but before we do all these things, you make sure that you can see the enable integration suite is supported only in the Singapore region, not for all. So those are the two places where we have to really see to which region we actually belong. Okay, sir. Okay, am I clear?
Yes.
So to make sure to which region you belong, you absolutely see that you don't belong to those two regions. Otherwise, there is a different procedure in doing so. Probably a BTP administrator can give you a better picture about that. But understanding BTP for a while.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Actually,
Yeah,
what
please.
did you say that Singapore, about Singapore means in Singapore it is easy to start the integration suite. For other region, what's the difference?
The only difference is that, sir, the Amazon Web Services version of the BTP account will not support those two regions, sir.
Okay.
That's the point. Why? Because I really don't know the real reason why as to why they are not supporting. Because the real reason what I understand is that they belong to the old version of either the new environment or the current environment. And other things is that they don't support the Cloud Foundry environment in those two regions. That's what I understand. Maybe I can give a better picture once I understand more in detail. But the Amazon Web Services for the BTP account will not support for these two regions. That's what I can say at the moment.
Okay.
So depending upon what kind of applications you're introducing in your BTP system, you have to come to this tool called as boosters and make sure that you select the corresponding component from the boosters and make integrated that to your BTP system. Okay, sir.
Yeah. One thing, sir, I'm asking that here
Please.
integration suite you have shown. Just same a small basic question, very basic question. So, related to admin things, correct? Development is in zero there, correct? some
Yes.
configuration integration should what I understand. For
Okay.
my just basic understanding, I'm just repeating that we have some on-premise in PI interfaces that should be imported and migrated in BTP. For this purpose, this particular
Integration
integration
suite
suite will be
is
used,
required.
and uh, it is for that purpose only, and
Yes.
it will not take any development. It is
No.
just
It
migrating
is
on-premise interfaces in BTP environment, correct?
exactly. Exactly.
And
So
when we have to create a new interface, that will be CPI, correct?
exactly. Exactly.
Okay,
So if you're having any kind of third-party systems for integration with the BTP system,
mm-hmm.
you need to install the integration suite for that purpose only.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a CPI interface, or otherwise, even if you have any SOAP services, if you have any web services, for all those things, integration suite is the only tool that must be installed in your repository in the BTP system for further integrations with non-SAP systems.
Mm-hmm.
Am I clear, sir?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So for example, let us say I want to work on the SAP build code. Okay. Let's say I want to work on SAP build code, or I can also work on, let's say, a work zone. So why do we require, what are these build apps? What are these work zones? All these things are the tools which are required for creating applications in the cloud system in the BTP. Now, these are the boosters. For example, if I go to build code, the build code is a tool wherein you can combine, you can integrate the generative AI capabilities and mobile applications on the BTP platform. Mr. Krishna, this will be the tools that you're going to use in the coming days in your company. For example, I'm just telling you.
Okay.
Like you have mentioned yesterday, that probably in the next year of 26, you might use the BTP system in detail, right?
Yeah.
How do we create the application development of mobile applications in your BTP system? All these things are possible provided you come down to these boosters and install this SAP build code, SAP build apps, SAP work zone, SAP integration suite. All these components must be installed in your repository to make sure that all the applications are ready for integration and doing other processes. Okay. So you might ask me, what is this build code? Build code is something like our module programming in ABAP. Okay, sir. Build code is something like a
I
simple
have one
module.
basic question. Sorry to interrupt. What is the difference between build code and SAP build app?
Sir, build code is a tool for creating the build apps application. Build apps is a tool.
Okay.
Build code is the repository required for creating the applications for using, which is called as build apps.
Okay.
It's something
Okay.
like
Hmm.
it's a tool that gives you as a booster to apply in the backend. And for the front end of the build code, it is called as build apps.
Okay. Okay.
So we
Okay.
need to, if you want to create an application or create a build code application or a build app application, you need to create an instance of the build code in your repository. Okay. It's like an engine. To create or to work with build app applications, you need to have an engine. That engine is what we call as a build code instance. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So once I create this build code instance in my backend, then I will be in a position to create the build applications or build apps, which we call it as.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Okay.
you
I
want to
understand
see,
at some level. Yeah.
yeah, once if I come down this is booster and click on this instance and subscriptions, okay, I was in trial home. I was in trial account. Then suddenly came to booster. I installed the SAP build code into my system, and my build code is actually accessing the information now. So once if I go back to my trial home again, I'll go to trial account again. And if I see this trial account, there is something called as an instance and subscriptions. what all the components that I've installed in my BTP system will be shown in the instances subscriptions. So before we come into instances subscriptions, we got to really understand what are these Cloud Foundry environment, what are this Kaima environment, what are these entitlements. Okay. Before Cloud Foundry came into picture, that is the cloud environment came into picture, there were two environments which we call it as new environment and Kaima environment. So this is not about BTP development. This is purely BTP admin. Okay. So we'll be having one session on
I have
this
one question
on
here.
this environment. Please.
Here, suppose the sub account trial overview, whatever. Why
Okay.
we use Cloud Foundry environment?
Sir, let's say, sir, that you are an AWS Azure developer. Okay. So when you are an Azure developer in Microsoft platforms, you'll be using VS Code, right? You'll be using Microsoft C#, Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, and all those. Where do you create the database or the space in your system? Can you tell me that, Mr. Gupta?
So my data, suppose that I am, actually, yeah. So my database will be SAP HANA, something like that.
Yeah,
and,
but even in the BTP system, we need to create a memory space for accessing your application, right?
Can you come
That,
again? We have to create a space?
sir, your backend is ECC system, that is ECC on HANA, right? I understand.
Correct.
But your on-premise system is connected to the BTP system using a cloud connector. That also I understand. Now, your cloud, when your backend is connected to the front end with this BTP system, the BTP system should also be in a position to create a memory space for you, right?
Correct.
That memory space or that database space will be provided to you by what is called as a Cloud Foundry environment.
Okay. Just
How much is the space required to create a development space? That space is provided to you by what is called as a Cloud Foundry environment. And Cloud Foundry environment here is nothing but a JSON file that you can see. This is the complete JSON file that you have. And this JSON file is very much required for a Cloud Foundry environment to see what are the details that you are providing for your organization space along with the details. If you click on this disable Cloud Foundry, then your environment will not support Cloud Foundry for further usage. Which means that if you want to work on business data cloud, if you want to work on BDC, that is business data on cloud system, if you want to work on any other cloud system, if this Cloud Foundry is disabled, you cannot work on further providing any database spaces. You're able to get me?
Yeah, I got up to some level.
Okay.
One thing just I am repeating from my side, like my UI in BTP, suppose that, okay? Fiori UI, whatever. But my database is on-premise database. Something just I'm assuming. Then we have to use connector. That is clear?
Yeah, that is Cloud Connector. We have to do that.
Cloud Connector. Yeah, that is Cloud Connector. We have to configure Cloud Connector to establish the connection from on-premise database. Correct?
Yes.
That is clear. Okay, and that is clear to me now. Okay, because I'm very new in here.
No problem.
Another thing, cloud, I heard only, but I don't know concept. Now, Cloud Foundry, you are telling. So, Cloud Foundry will provide the space for in cloud for transaction data, something like that.
Yes, it provides you the complete space as to how much space is required for connecting to your database. It provides you the environment instance as to how much of the space is required. What are all the objects we have used? What are all the tools you have installed in your system? All these things will be shown to you in the Cloud Foundry environment. Okay.
Cloud Foundry. Okay.
And if you see environment section here, we have enabled the Cloud Foundry environment only. Because Cloud Foundry environment is the general environment for creating the applications in the BTP side. In the BTP side, that too on the cloud.
Yeah, understand. And some point is this, whatever activity we are going to do in SAP BTP environment, it could be SAP BTP Fiori, and if we require something component, what you told that we have to be installed, okay?
On the Cloud Foundry side only.
Yeah, Cloud Foundry is the place where we can decide our space, memory space for our cloud activity.
SAP. Exactly.
Okay. So it means Cloud Foundry space means for suppose that cloud connector we have to do some configuration. Even I don't know, but I have heard only. But Cloud Foundry, what configuration we have to do? Like we have to just assign the space, the GB or MB, whatever. That's it.
Yes, sir. First of all, let's say you created a DB space for it. Okay. Next, let's say you are an administrator. So when you are an administrator, we need to make sure that you have certain roles which are called as managed roles.
Okay.
These managed roles are completely important and will be configured by the SAP BTP admin team. It is not the role of the BTP developer by any means, because all components, what objects to be called in the BTP application you want. For example, if I want to use a build code, there are certain libraries, certain roles and collections, there are certain users which will be accessed only by the BTP admin. He will enroll us. Okay, these are the components you require for your BTP system, and we have to check those check boxes. Then only I can be in a position to access this build code. Once if I have the access of build code, then I can create a build apps in the backend directly. This is how the backend system works in BTP in Cloud Foundry. Cloud Foundry will give you a database space. Once the database space is given, you can install the components, provide the roles and responsibilities, provide the user collections, provide the roles for that, access the users for them, use the tool, create the applications. This is the roles.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. It is nicely explained by you. Just I understand, just I heard Cloud Foundry, but I understood the use of Cloud Foundry here. Cloud Foundry is the admin work, where admin means any admin person like project lead and all will assign the database space, and in this database space we can add our components. You can like SAP build code, SAP business application, and when SAP whatever. So only it is memory allocation, role and responsibility allocation, and it is admin work. That's it, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thank you. Apart from that, there is no use of Cloud Foundry, correct?
The Cloud Foundry will give you the database space. Without a database space, we cannot do anything in BTP.
Yeah, understand. In one line, Cloud Foundry will give us the database space, and it will be managed by administrator and any admin person, not by developer. And Cloud Connector is for connection settings, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
So once if I come down to these instances and subscriptions, what all the tools we have created, what all the tools you require for building your application on the BTP platform will be shown here. Okay.
Correct.
So once you go down to service marketplace, so I'll be telling these parts in the tomorrow section also, sir. We'll discuss these things for a couple of days, Mr. Krishna, because these things are really, really important. Then after that, then we'll come back to our original contents that we have, because the focus of all this training is only on BTP. I'm putting so much stress on the BTP part. Am I clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for joining today.
I have
some part of the things.
Sorry to interrupt. I have one question. Suppose that I will be going to join. That is the one thing I'm clearing here. Suppose that any class I will miss, a recording will be there, correct?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Recording will be
And
given
one
to you.
thing, but recording will also help up to some level. But suppose that because in November I have a lot of work, but in December I will be finished. But I want to continue because it is new batch. Okay, when in December new batch will start, I don't know. So suppose that again I will rejoin any batch because of so it will be chargeable or what?
Sir, for that information, you have got to speak to Mr. Sriram, who controls this information. You got to speak to him. Regarding any technical capabilities, I'll be in a position to answer. But regarding those administration activities, I would advise you to speak to Mr. Sriram, sir. Fine?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. No problem.
Mr. Gupta, okay, tomorrow you can speak to the counselor. She'll explain you everything. Okay.
Come again?
Tomorrow you can speak to the counselor. She'll explain you everything. No problem. Don't worry about the subject. Always we encourage the students to explore. Okay.
Understand? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Krishnan. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm going to conclude the session today, and tomorrow we'll continue some part of this BTP. And I hope I'll give you some documentation on this in the coming days. Then probably from Thursday onwards, we're going to start with
9
our.
PM, correct?
9 to 10.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Say 9 p.m. only.
Yeah,
Sir.
okay. That is okay for me only 9 PM.
Okay, sir.
Before that,
Okay, Mr.
okay.
Krishnan.
Ram,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, Soumya. Thank you so much for joining. We'll continue
Ramya,
tomorrow.
Ram and Soumya, any doubts, please? Ram?
Yeah. Yes, sir. As of now, I think this Sanjay, you can share this notepad, whatever you just noted down. We can have the
Yes,
notepad.
I will.
This recording will come to you, Ram. Okay, tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to give a call, or I'll ask my counselor to give a call. I'm going to take both of your email IDs. Okay, and we have already, but definitely we are going to take once again. Then we'll start sending the yesterday's recording and today's also.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
how.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Soumya.
Ram, you have my
Thank you,
personal number,
Mr.
right?
Sram. Okay, Mr. Krishnan. Soumya. Thank you, Mr. Gupta. We'll continue tomorrow.
Okay, thanks,
Good night.
everybody.
Thank you.
Great day, Messenger.
Thank you, Andy. No
Have a
problem.
good night. Good night. Bye-bye.